Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Canvas Conversations with Josiah, Aarons, and Teddy Baumgartner, the CEOs of Canvas Landscaping based in St. Cloud, Minnesota. This is totally not our second time recording this intro.
Yeah.
Our mic gain may have been a little bit too low and you could not hear us, so we didn't speak much into what we were talking about, but second time's a charm is what they say.
In that take, how long did we go? 4 minutes there?
But it was like 3 minutes of goofing off in the beginning.
Well, okay. I said some pretty funny things. I can't repeat them now because they're not going to sound the same.
No, they aren't. But today, we are going to be talking about
business life and personal life.
Work. Wait.
Life job management.
No. Work-life balance. Work-life balance.
Seriously, we want to talk about what it's like personally for us, this managing Canvas Landscaping as two business owners, young business owners, and how we just want to get on a relatable level for people who work under someone, like as an employee or subcontract, whatever it is, and then also for people who possibly want to start running a business. We want to give an idea of what that might look like for wisdom and just warnings, whatever it is. Like we want to give an idea of what it is running a business and then also living your personal life.
Yeah, kind of like what we're going through right now, and as we're still learning about how to balance, just what are we doing right now to balance that. Obviously, we don't, we're in our early 20s. We don't have, kids that we have to look after. We don't have, like, Canvas is our full-time job. I guess that's what we're talking about. But I'm a workaholic, okay? And that means that I love trying to, see the next best thing. When we do automations, if you submit on our Facebook ads, Instagram ads, if you submit the form on there or the website form, that's a trigger. And then down from that, it's like an org chart. And you can do all these things, right? We can send you an email, a text, internal notification, start a call, right away with you. There's all these things that you can do. And I love finding out what all those things that you can do are, so, and sometimes I will stay up very late trying to find out what those things are. So it's like, how do you figure out that work-life balance? Obviously you don't want to be working all the time and burn yourself out,
right? But
you don't want to be working too little because you have too much of a social life, and now what you're not putting into the business, what you should be getting out of it.
Yeah. And I feel like you and I are like complete opposite in that aspect. Like I, before, like even 2 weeks ago, was too much in the social life, not getting enough work done, and I was slacking. I was really slacking, and then I had to get back on it, and I actually started picking up my end of doing sales and getting quotes out and all these other things, and I actually started scheduling and a few other things. So yeah, Teddy has so much, like, one was at the beginning, like when we first merged our businesses, Teddy had so much more business knowledge than I did, and I was way behind on that. So I've had to learn quite a few things from Teddy, but then also just through running a business, I've figured it out because I needed to know certain things for running my department. So
yeah, and
there's always learning. You can never have it all fully comprehended or fully understood, and then there's always different ways to apply certain things to certain customers who have a different personality and receive things differently than another customer would. Like, there's always different things.
Yeah, like kind of morphing yourself. When you go meet a customer or talking with a customer, you kind of have to morph into, or like be the yin yang, right? So
Mhm.
if they're, if they're really talkative, you might start to be a little bit more talkative, just
Mhm.
so you can connect with them. Or if somebody's
Yeah.
a little bit more quiet, you might be a little bit more laid back and not keep pushing them with questions
Exactly.
and trying to make them talk.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have something to say?
I did have something to say, and now I forgot.
Well, okay, so here's my question to you is how does your personal life, and I've actually never asked this before. I just came up with it. I came up with this on the spot. All right, ready? Ready? Are you ready for this?
Easy.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Oh man, it's a good one. It's a good question.
Okay.
How does your personal life, all right, ready, attribute to your business life?
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
tribute.
Like how does your personal life make business life better or worse? Like because of your personality, your character, your social interactions, everything. Like how does it make your business life or the business life better or worse?
We have our cabin up north in Bemidji, and so there, during personal time, I learned how to change the oil on
Mhm.
machinery, how to that's where I really learned how to cut grass and how to take care of grass.
Yeah.
There was tons of weeds, no grass growing, and I turned the lawn around from there was it was just like pine needles, pine cones, and a little grass and a bunch of weeds to it's like now this lush lawn out there. And doing striping, that's another thing that I learned.
Mhm.
And then I mean, not really personal, but for the business aspect of it, I worked at Rejuve Medical, which I learned a lot from uh, from my boss there, who was the marketing manager, and he taught me a lot. And working with the other people there, and working with a group of people in meetings, and working together in cross, departments, really taught me a lot on how to work with, like in our case, like a sales department with a marketing department.
Yeah. That makes sense. Absolutely. And it seems like this is like what I've heard is a lot of these people who run lawn care businesses, specifically lawn care, I've heard a lot of people who are like, yeah, I was mowing my neighbors and friends' properties at the age of 9 and 10 and 11 and 12. And it's like that personal life of I was just trying to make a little bit of money and I had interactions and connections and whatnot. It actually turned into me wanting to run a business. So if what it sounds like to me is you kind of just followed something that naturally came for you, a passion for you, and it just turned into a lawn care and landscaping business, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, hauling dirt around up at our cabin.
Yeah.
Like we put in all of our own rock, all of our own landscaping. So that, I mean, because we bought that cabin in 2020, so that's when things really started to click for me. Of I really like working outside and doing this landscaping stuff, and then it just became a business.
Yeah. So, like a question to add on to my original question is like, do you have to change your personality or do you have to change your personality in the way you act in any kind of way, like in business, differently than your personal life? It's like, does that make sense?
Yeah. In personal life, I mean, there is two sides. In personal life, you're gonna, act more like yourself a little bit more, like more goofy and stuff.
Yep.
Whereas when you're on the business side, you have to act professionally. You can still act like yourself, right? But obviously, you have customers, and you need to be professional.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll lose people. So. I mean, for me, like, there's other people that might have a personal, life that's like professional already.
Yeah, right.
And they might talk a certain way or something.
Right.
And so, but me, I have a goofy side.
Oh,
I have a professional side.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
And I think that's a really good thing for young guys, is because it shows that we're lively. Like we're a young, ambitious business.
Yeah.
Is what we are. So I think people see that and see our goofiness and our fun side, and they're like, from what I've heard, it's like good for them. Like that's cool, and it's made it so that parents have wanted their children to almost, or like who are our friends, to want them to join our business, like us hiring them as employees.
Yeah.
Like they see that personality and our character in the personal life and in the business life, and they're like, yeah, that would be so cool for our kids to join the Canvas crew.
Yeah.
So,
and if you want to see, what we are like during, services and how we interact with each other, just go to our YouTube page, or even you might be on YouTube right now, and you can watch our GoPro videos. And that's, we don't really promote. Obviously, I'm doing a little bit now because of the podcast, but I don't really promote the YouTube videos that much. Mm-hmm. But if the customers ever want to see what we are actually like, not really that professional, go to our YouTube page.
yeah. And it's not like the work we do is unprofessional. It's just the way we interact with each other is unprofessional. Because like, I know Teddy, I knew him since 7th grade when he was in 8th grade at a school. So it's kind of like we messed around and goofed off all the time with that group, our group of friends, and it was just like we go back to that, and it's like that's the goofy fun side of us. I mean, I'm not taught. Well, I did tackle you into leaves in that video, actually, the leaf removal video that we have on YouTube. But other than that, like, I don't chuck you into leaves anymore or anything like that. But we still have these moments where we're laughing at each other.
Yeah.
Like honestly, every day we laugh at each other when we're working together.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, if you tackle me into a pile of leaves, there might not be any chance that I'm getting back up without a crane getting me.
Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely your cat, bro. That cat's fat.
My cat, and we can actually talk about this because now we've done a social post.
Yeah.
My cat is not fat. She's on a diet now. She doesn't eat as much. Okay. But that doesn't mean that she's fat.
No. But to have to say she's on a diet, what does that mean? There's like some kind of like previous not well eating habits.
Yeah, she can still jump higher than you can. So she's got a vertical like crazy.
Right. No, your cat, Kitty is pretty cute. I'll give you that. But yeah, no, that's like one thing for me where my personality transferred over pretty easily into the business, because like I'm the sales guy, right? So I was able to, the way I communicate with customers isn't exactly the same as how I communicate with my friends, but I'm just able to, I have a personality where I'm able to figure out how a person likes to talk and then adapt to that. Mm-hmm. So like kind of how, like you said earlier, of if a person's very talkative, I can be very talkative, and we know this while we've worked on it. Oh, okay.
All too well.
Yeah, all right. And then if there is a person that's like kind of shy, doesn't speak a lot, I will not like ask a ton of questions. I'll ask the basic questions, and then if anything else, I'll go home, email or text, because that's usually easier for some of those people.
Yeah.
So yeah, like personality wise, like it's not like you have to be a whole new person, and that's what I was hearing from you. Like you don't have to be a whole new person. It's just like even in personal life, you have to be professional sometimes. You have to be composed, and you have to be serious about life. And business just exaggerates that a little bit more when you're talking with customers, and then also when we have our meetings, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not like for anybody like out there, like you don't Josiah is going to be Josiah even in the business, but I'm just going to maybe be a little bit more professional and serious when it's more needed, which a business requires more professionalism than personal life, being with friends, out watching a movie, going bowling. Like, there will be times in personal life where it calls for you to be serious and professional. I would say it was kind of like the same with you, like where you were mowing your cabin's grass and whatnot, right? And it just like, and hauling dirt around and everything, like that just intrigued you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of the same for me. Like when we were building our house, which is now in Rockville, that building and watching this land, which was all trees and super tall grass, all flattened, then all clay and dirt, and then we had to level it all out. Just watching the landscape come together, and then the house be built, all at the same time. It was just so cool to watch it all come together, and like the architecture and behind all of it. Like it's just that really caught my attention. I was like, okay, I want to do something like this where I'm creating something, right? And so that's when lawn care, like I enjoy lawn care, but I really enjoy landscaping, like because there's that whole transformation. But that's kind of where personal life kind of, like, it just made a way for landscaping for me, running a landscaping business. But
so I like lawn care. I like riding a mower back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You like landscaping.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be the landscaping guru. I'll be the lawn care guru.
Okay.
And then in snow removal realm, you like commercial. I like residential.
Yeah.
So, okay, we got our roles figured out.
Perfect. Thank you to everyone who just let us had us figure that out.
Yes.
Wouldn't have been done without you.
So at this point, we're going to close the business out.
Wait,
and,
whoa, what? That's crazy talk. No, but seriously, like, whenever there's a serious question about, like, how do I get rid of these plants? How do I take care of this in my lawn? Or whatever it is, I'm usually like, I'll get back to you on that. And then I go to you, and I'm like, how do people get mushrooms out of their lawns? I'm like, Teddy, what would you say about this specific plant that's just not going away? And you're like, spray it. But seriously, like, you got more in-depth answers to that, of course. But
yeah, obviously,
you know more about the lawn care and taking care of the lawn than I do, for sure.
But you know some.
I know some, but that's because
like
of you.
Pavers, you're really good at pavers.
Right.
I never knew about locking sand.
That's all landscaping for me, you know.
Yep.
Like I love that. Lawn care, I don't really care about if there's mushrooms in my lawn. I don't got kids yet, so because like, well, here's why I say that, because Abby and Storm, my sister and brother-in-law, they have 2 children, and I started cutting the grass at 2.5 inches because I was like, we're burning our grass. So I started cutting it at 2.5 inches, and mushrooms started to grow. So it was like, either we cut the grass all the way down so that nothing grows except grass and then dies because of the scorching sun, or we keep it at 2.5 inches and get some fertilizer down. Because like, that's kind of what you said, is like, it'd be best to, before they come up, put some lawn weed and feed down, right? That's the best option to get rid of mushrooms? Or what would you say is the best option to get rid of, or solution?
Yeah, so all mushrooms, that's a disease.
Mm-hmm.
And diseases come in many variants. Mushrooms is one of them. We had mushrooms growing in our yard one time. The first thing I would say, if you are watering your lawn, stop watering your lawn for like a week. Don't water your lawn for at least a week. That'll choke out the mushrooms. They depend on heavy saturation. And so, like, for up at our cabin, we were watering every night, and I was watering about 45 minutes per zone. And so it was probably about 7,000 gallons of water we were using a night.
It's crazy.
So mushrooms were everywhere. And so then I moved it to every other day, and I moved it down to, I believe, 20 minutes per zone. So each one could get a little bit of sprinkle. And the problem was too, is I was watering at 10:30 at night, and so the first zone would get dumped with water, and it would sit overnight, and it would just, if you dump water on carpet and it just sits there without you drying it, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get mold and mildew, and so that's what's going to happen. I would also put potassium, because you got, so there's 3 numbers on a fertilization bag. You have, your first number is nitrogen, your second number is phosphorus, and your third number is potassium. And so, if it says 3003, that's 30% nitrogen, 0% phosphorus, and whatever percent I said, 3% potassium. So nitrogen makes your grass green, and it makes it grow. So the higher the nitrogen percentage, the much higher, or the much it's going to grow, but it's also going to get green. But you're going to be mowing like probably 2 times a week, 3 times a week. So the phosphorus is just like, think of it as like chili for your body, like the soup. Like beans. It's hardy. It boosts your grass like immunity to the heat and things like that. And potassium, it helps your yard with diseases, and also sometimes like parasites, like slugs or something like that. So at that point, if you had mushrooms in your yard, I would stop watering, and then start either watering every other week if it's a drought, or just stop watering for a week, and then I would get some potassium rich fertilizer down on the yard.
Wow. Well, that's good to know, because we just mowed it down to 1 inch.
Or you can do that too. It's just,
but it's gonna burn it. And I'm not for that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not for that. My dad mows it down all the way. I mean, as deep as you can go.
I mean, so like up at our cabin, the best thing that I did was, and this was when we first started, and this got rid of everything. Canvas Landscaping isn't licensed to do this for customers, but you can always do this on your own. It's non-toxic. But if you get Milorganite, it's a all natural fertilizer. You can use it by a lake. It's got no chemicals in it. It's made in Milwaukee, and it's nitrogen rich and potassium rich. So if you throw that down kind of late spring, I did it during Memorial Day weekend, so just the end of May. That'll get the grass growing, and it's non-burning too, so you can put not as much down, but there's no like really risk if you lay it down heavy.
I hear what you're saying.
And then it's called Ortho, and it's a weed killer, but it connects to your hose, and your yard is going to smell a little bit chemically afterwards, but I literally got rid of every weed.
Really?
And only left the grass, and then that Milorganite came in behind and pushed the growth of the grass, and it choked out all the weeds. And I didn't put any weed killer down for another 2 years after that.
Wow.
Because there was no weeds in the lawn.
Wow. So it just it made your grass so full and the roots so strong that there's just no way.
Yeah, so I put Milorganite down Memorial Day weekend, July 4th weekend or week, and then just before school started, so end of August.
Okay. Yeah, so like a 3-step in summer, basically, fertilization.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I was just kind of testing something out. Just Milorganite's cheap.
Yeah.
And it's non-burning, so it's like, why not?
Yeah.
It worked.
There you go.
No weeds, lush grass.
So if that is a problem you guys are dealing with, there you go. Teddy just figured it out for you.
There you go.
I would have no clue. See, that's why he's the lawn guy. I'm the landscaping guy that we figured out today.
There you go.
Yeah.
Although Canvas Landscaping is only licensed to put down granular fertilizer, no liquid.
Yep.
So
way to put that sponsor in there.
There we go.
Yeah. That was not a sponsor. I was
sorry.
Anyways, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
No, go ahead, Teddy.
Okay, can I show off our new award?
Oh.
Now, the people that are just listening aren't gonna be able to see, but behind me here, I'll bring in the camera closer.
Yeah, there we go.
This is obviously, if you follow us on social media, you know that we won.
Wow, you don't even know what we won.
Landscaping and lawn design from community votes.
Oh my gosh.
But we got our plaque just last week, so I added it to the wall.
Yeah.
2025 gold winner. Canvas Landscaping voted best in landscaping and lawn design.
Okay, this is how you know we're not scripted, because you're just reading off the sign that's right there. Had to look back 4 different times to read off what it said.
Issued on August 18th,
Oh,
2025.
But yeah, we had to change that out because there was a picture there before that kind of looked like the TV in colors and yada yada yada, and we had some complaints. Miracle, and so we got rid of it.
And now it's a miracle that we got that picture off the wall and we put this new one on.
Teddy, when you've dealt with conflict between you and I before, because Teddy and I, we have disagreed, believe it or not. We have in the business. And it was, sometimes it didn't get like heated to where we were throwing punches at all. But it did get a little bit heated in a sense where I was very confident in what I believed and you were very confident in what you believed.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just clashed.
What? You tell me what you do in those situations.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I did then and how I should have done it and how I would do it now.
Okay.
Because it's actually like for you and I, it's been almost like half a year since we've had like a heated disagreement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Okay.
Right?
I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Okay. So before what I would do is I would not back down at all or take a step back. I would not do that and kind of analyze what's going on here. And I would continue to further my opinion. And I would try to force it as best as I could. And then that just turned into Teddy, who's also stubborn like me. And he would try to further his opinion and force it. And it clashed.
Careful what you say here, Joe.
Yeah, okay.
I can tell you were struggling.
We're going to have our
that.
next disagreement right now. No. But seriously, like it clashed and we were mad at each other and we argued with each other. And it just it didn't resolve well. It wasn't resolved well. Like it resolved, but there was like some kind of just lingering like disagreement. That's like kind of the best word I have to say here.
Yeah, but we have our disagreements,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what time you're talking about, but we have our disagreements, but it's not like we don't talk to each other for a week.
Right.
We still carry on, and there's never like any anger. I mean, obviously I can't even remember what you're talking about, so obviously it's not like it holds on.
You wouldn't remember.
And maybe I am just forgetful, as you just said.
You're very selective in what you think about and remember, clearly.
Okay, I
you're
guess
very
that
selective
is
in
true.
how you hear me. But anyways,
it's just called selective hearing.
yeah, I know. You're very good at it, whatever it is. You win there. But anyways, so yeah, there was just a lot of disagreement and it wasn't resolved well. And that was because like we're very stubborn. We were very, very stubborn. Now Teddy's humbled himself and I've become more of the boss in the situations. So he listens to me and respects that and honors it. If he didn't, he'd be gone. So I'm just kidding. No, we've both like mutually, wouldn't you say mutually we've shown more humility when we have these conversations, meetings, disagreements.
we comparing to
Mm-hmm.
when we started,
Mm-hmm.
we did not listen to each other, right? We would try to talk over each other.
Yeah.
We would
And that was probably just like the
sorry, keep going. I was just about to say we used to interrupt each other.
I know.
And some things, right? I'm so mad that you just did that because
I'm so sorry.
I'm just trying to prove a point here.
Yeah.
So
Go
yeah, but at the beginning of at the beginning of our time, that we were interrupting, we were talking over each other, we weren't really listening. Yep. Sometimes we listened, but not all the time. But now it still happens sometimes, but it's much better. We had a meeting today, right?
Yep.
So we went to Pizza Ranch. Delicious cactus bread. Shout out to Cactus Bread.
Shout out to Cactus Bread. No. Shout out to Pizza Ranch. It's not shout out to Cactus.
Oh, to the people that make the pizza, the Cactus Bread.
Yeah.
But this year, I mean, what did I do? I just sat there and I listened. I almost brought, and I'm not even joking. I almost this morning I was thinking, or last night I was thinking, I should bring like a stuffed animal or something. That when you have it, you're like the leader of the conversation, so I have to listen to you, and then when I have it, I'm the leader.
This is how it was before.
We did that one time. We're CEOs. I mean, we run a professional business, I promise.
Yeah. Yep.
Or this is just how we have to communicate.
Yeah. No, but I don't know about you because you're clearly forgetful, but back in the day when we first started out, we poorly ran the business. Like our communication was just off. So now, like we had in place like Monday.com, and we even said we got rid of Monday.com because we were like, we're better at communicating now.
Yeah. And we are communicating. I mean, I can text you whenever I want. I mean, what did we do this weekend? We texted all these long texts to each other. Yeah. I don't know what else to say because I think our communication is good right now. I think
it is right now.
You know, we have our weekly meetings, so we do get stuff put out in person. If we have to call, we will call, and then there's always texting. Yeah. But we know what's expected of us, so there's not really, you know, at the beginning it was a lot of this is what's expected of you, and then it wasn't getting done, and so then we would have a conversation about it. I'm not back and forth, right? But like right now, you know what your responsibilities are in the business, and we'll do a podcast episode of what your responsibilities and my responsibilities are. Yeah. But you know what your responsibilities are, I know what my responsibilities are, and it's like a zipper,
landscaping.
You know?
Yeah.
We've zipped up.
Yeah. We're almost there.
Oh.
We're almost to... No, we're not. There's so much zipper to go.
Okay.
But we are zipping up.
What else zipper needs to go? What else needs to be zipped up?
I'm saying we're not the perfect business. So that zipper's still zipping.
Yeah, but... What else needs to be zipped up? Because I'm thinking about a business right now. There's a business in my head.
Oh.
I'm thinking about a business in my head, and they don't do anything together. You know, the two partners, they don't do anything together. Whereas us, you know, we went out to Pizza Ranch, and it wasn't all business. I mean, we talked about
personal life of like. Well, we were on our phones for some of it, just scrolling. What did we talk about personal life? I talked about Kevin. How I play fetch with Kevin.
Kevin plays fetch, which I will. Can you get me a video? Can I put it on the stories?
For sure.
All right, let's go down the stories.
Okay, so one thing. So basically, through all this, what we're mentioning is our communication skills were not the best at the start. They're a lot better now. So one thing is, like, one of my biggest struggles was I was running the business too much like I was living my life. Does that make sense? Like I was I was just continuing living life like prior to a business. Like I was having fun
as if you
with
weren't-
friends.
Yeah, like you know,
It was
like
all
if you
buddy
worked
buddy.
at a regular company, it would be 9 to 5. You'd be there
Mhm.
at this time to this time, and then that would, yeah.
Yeah. And then when this came along, it was kind of just like, if I wanted to be lazy, I'll be lazy. And then if I actually wanted to go to work, okay, fine, I'll do some work. So that's where that personal life, like personal life and business life, they're different, but they're very much integrated in all sorts of ways. But they do need to be different. Okay. Your business life shouldn't overtake your personal life and your relationships. Your relationships, that's why so many people hate the pyramid scheme, right? Or those kinds of businesses and whatnot. Because it's like, tell your brother, your mother, your father, your daughter. Not a daughter for us, but tell them all and try to get them to buy this product. And like one of the things is like, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And one of the things is they really try to force like the pitch upon your family members and your friends. And I know personally, like my sister Abby even told me about it, like when she was working for Arvani or something like that, like this healthy food something or whatever. Like,
Carvana.
nope, not at all. No. It's an orange logoed thing. Anyways, she was just
Alani.
just stop. So she was telling me like how they really wanted her to like force it. Wow. They really wanted her to force it on her family and friends. And doing that because of like personally like the people I know and are thinking of, like doing that, they have ruined some relationships in their own lives, like with those friends and with those family members. So like that's another thing is don't let your business life ruin your friendships, relationships, and family, just your family connection they have with each other. Like, don't let it ruin that. Keep it separate there.
Keep it separate.
Keep
Unless
it
they
separate.
ask you questions about
Yeah, then that's okay. That's totally okay. You know?
I know.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing I wanted to mention is like, okay, so Teddy, would you say you're a better business owner than you were when we first merged businesses? You can't be serious.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, good.
I mean, yes. Maybe a bit. I'm a better business owner.
You're a better business owner, huh?
Better business bureau. Better business owner. But I'm also, like, I know how to work with somebody better now.
Yes.
You know, 'cause
yeah.
before, please don't, sir, you comment on this. Before, I was running my own business and doing things my way.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I've learned how to work with people better. And I think that's why I like the business more right now than I did in its previous era. Okay?
Okay.
And I don't know why you're laughing over there.
Because you're talking at 0.5 speed right now.
Because I am trying to be careful of what I say. So I
Whoever's
don't
watching YouTube right now is
offend
thinking they have to put it
you.
back to 1 speed.
Then
Oh my gosh, okay.
let's-
So my point is that you have matured, right? Just give me your yes or no. You don't have to panic.
Yes.
Okay, go back to me. Thank you. So you have matured. And then once again, a question to you after you're done yawning. You have matured in the business aspect of things, and then also in your personal life.
Yes, in my personal life, I have What are you talking about? Matured?
Yeah, and like because of running a business. Let me give you an example, Teddy. I have become a more disciplined man because of running the business.
I know.
Okay. I have become a more disciplined man because of running a business, being disciplined to doing work, and then also being more disciplined to my schedule. Did you just lick your mic? Okay.
Oh, that
Do
is
you
a
see what I'm saying?
funny question. Because I told you 3 weeks ago that I was gonna start going to bed earlier and waking up earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still going to bed at. Don't worry, nobody worry. I'm still going to bed at 1:30 a.m. and waking up at 7:30
Okay.
a.m. So don't worry about that. That has nothing to do with why I'm tired and fatigued. But
Yeah.
no,
No? You haven't matured in your personal life because of running a business?
I'm gonna get so much hate in the comments because I'm totally messing up all my words right now.
I'm going to throw a comment in there.
Yes, I have matured in the ways of, like, I know how to better budget, how to better finance,
there
how
you
to
go.
better look at profit and loss sheets. That's not really a personal thing, but
Like, Teddy, would you say you have become... Would you say you're better at communicating now? Would you say you're better at...
okay. Yes, I have gotten way more comfortable where I am mentally, but also like the stress is always going to be there. Obviously business is always going to be stressful, but you know, everything else.
For the people watching, you heard it all right there. You saw, that's all you needed. All right. But Teddy, I think they get it. I don't, but I think they do. Okay? And that's good. So, basically, wrapping it all up, what we're saying, and Teddy, please agree with me here, otherwise we're going to go for another 45 minutes. What we're saying is that business life and personal life are separate but aren't separate. There's a lot of integrated, but there's also a lot to keep separate.
Yeah, like when I was at Rejuve, it was always taught, you know, all right, keep your business and personal life separate, right? But that was just because we were just workers, right? We, you know, we talked a lot about, you know, keeping it separate because at that point we were bringing a lot of home, you could almost say homework that we were going to do at home. And so just keeping that separate. But as for entrepreneurs, it really is like a 24-hour job, especially, you know, guys in their young 20s who are trying to, you know, start this business, you know, going.
Yep.
Right? It is going to be a 24-hour job. So yes, keeping your life separate, but also keeping your toe in the water, you could say. You
At
know,
all times.
just, you know, if a text comes in, maybe read it, maybe don't respond right then, but on a Saturday night, respond, you know, to that customer a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what I did on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And that's like, that's one thing is like where Sundays, I usually do not do any work, but if it's something simple where it's like just simply communicating with someone, I do that all day, every day anyways. So I can just send a simple text every once in a while on a Sunday. But even if I don't, if it's not urgent, they'll understand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, not doing hardcore work like creating quotes, sending a ton of emails to people asking what kind of rock they want.
Yep. It's the Lord's Day. Sabbath. Keep it holy. But anyways, what would you say, Teddy, in summary, like, do you do for a 20-year-old who wants to live a life, experience friendship, and have a lot of social interaction should that person start a business?
As a person in their young 20s, I think it's really good to to have young entrepreneurships. Obviously, it takes a certain kind of person because you do have to be disciplined. Not everybody is fit out to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And not everybody is fit out to be the person that is going to take the calls, answer all the emails, schedule. I mean, it does get overwhelming. So that's why there's college, so people can go, do other things and learn other things. Trade schools. I'm not good at, answering calls. So, and not sometimes I am just busy too. So that's why I like the partnership, because you're good at taking that.
Yeah. Okay. But ultimately, yeah, like kind of what you're saying is depending on how you function as a person, and how you want to live life, maybe experiment running a business by going under someone and shadowing a business owner, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then you need to fully understand the discipline that's needed, right? That's like number one, I would say, is there's going to be a huge amount of discipline involved with running a business. And then also getting uncomfortable and trying new things, because like we're always trying to break through the ceiling, right? There's going to be tons of ceilings. We're going to always try to break through them, whatever one comes our way. And that requires doing something new or changing processes or whatever it is. So you have to be a thinker. That's another thing, is you really have to be a thinker.
And the biggest thing too is being flexible.
Yeah.
The schedule is going to change even just that day,
Yeah.
In terms of marketing, being able to being able to turn on a dime.
I'm throwing a comment in.
Being able to turn on a dime. If this ad is not being successful after, a week and a half, it's got to be changed.
Yeah.
So being able to look at the numbers and literally maybe doing a 180 at times.
Yeah.
With changing something, and it's got to keep rolling, know? So.
Yeah, exactly. And all the other things, integrity, even like, especially in a partnership, like I'm going to do my work, even because Teddy doesn't have a camera in my room. What? Do you?
I have a camera there.
Well, I know you got a camera in your room. I ain't got a camera. You ain't got.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, good. So Teddy doesn't have a camera in my room watching me while I work. Yo. Okay. No, but seriously, what I'm saying is, like, the integrity is needed so that I'm gonna do my work. I'm gonna do it well, while you're not watching. Right? I'm gonna do it and get it done. And then, so the integrity
but
there.
I would argue that though.
Oh,
I would.
You do have a camera in my room?
No.
Okay.
I know. Everybody, Minnesota nice, or the Minnesota goodbye. Minnesota goodbye. We almost ended the episode. You almost thought you were getting out 5 minutes ago.
No, you're stuck with us.
I would argue that point.
Oh.
I do know. Not that I have a camera, but I know because.
Okay. Yep.
If I don't see, quotes getting out, I know, right? Vice versa with me is, if you stop seeing social posts on Facebook, it's like, well, what is Teddy doing? He's probably not working, So it is. True. It is. I do know when you're working. When I'm working.
Yep.
And not just working for, like the landscaping jobs, getting the hours in, but also doing the stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah. Sorry, I was burping, but go ahead. No. Yeah. That's okay. So let me rephrase it. Like, when it comes to the clients, integrity while doing the job, when that looks like not just there's rock, and it's old garbage rock, us putting fabric down over the rock and then putting more rock on top. Like, that's not a great idea. It's really not. But for for what you were saying about how you can track that. You can track me if I'm doing my work or not. Here's what I would say to a partnership, but then also, even if you're by yourself, have some form of accountability.
That's where I loved Monday.com, because we were able to put all of our tasks in there. Monday.com is a task-oriented software. So you can put all of your tasks in there, and you can put either their I'll bring my hand back in here. Either it's not started, it's working. I mean, you can do the labels that you want, or it's done. And that's what we used for a long time. And we would put all of our tasks in there. You can organize it, you can title it however you want to. We used to put our maintenance list in there, and it was super easy to track. Yeah. So that would be one thing that we are going to bring back on eventually, when we either like start moving away from each other, or
if that happens,
we start moving away from each other, or we start bringing more people on board who are going to start doing more things on the back end.
Yeah, and so that's probably the biggest thing then is accountability. One of the biggest things. So discipline and accountability.
Discipline, accountability. Can I add flexibility in there?
I like that. Yeah. Flexibility. That's all good. And not flexibility just in the schedule side of things, just flexibility in like trying new things.
Yeah.
So adaptability. Adaptability. I like my way better. It sounds a lot more cool. But so those are the 4 things we're gonna say are like the most important.
There we go.
I would absolutely say so. And for someone who is solo, where can you get that accountability? What I would say is find a close friend. Find either a close friend who is mature, or if you go to church, find someone like a pastor, your pastor, or youth pastor, or just someone who themselves are disciplined and carry that kind of leadership role. Ask them to be your accountability, just in running business, like saying, hey, you keeping your business maintained? Is it doing well? Just asking those questions, and then you being honest. So
thank you everybody for watching or listening today. If you have any comments or suggestions, here is the information on the screen right now.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I like that. I like tuning in because it sounds like we're a radio talk show.
We're dragging this out.
Thank you for tuning in. We will be seeing you later, and tell us which cat's better. Peace.